My name is Sophie Koeppl. I'm a junior on the St. Mary's basketball team. I'm a double major in history and economics, and I am an MIAA athlete. One thing that I'm really involved with outside of basketball is Army ROTC with the Notre Dame Fighting Irish Battalion. With that involvement, I am a cadet who is dedicated to learning about leadership skills and tactics that will make me a good officer upon graduation, where I'll commission as a second lieutenant in the United States Army. I am fourth generation military. My great grandpa was in the United States Army and he landed on Normandy on D-Day. So that's my kind of introduction into the Army. And then my grandpa was a Marine who flew helicopters in Vietnam. And he's also a lawyer now. And then my dad was a Marine as well, just retired after 24 years. And he was a logistics officer in the United States Marine Corps. He was involved in missions over in Djibouti, Africa, in Rwanda, all over the Horn of Africa, really. I grew up in a military family, as I said before, and with that we moved around a lot. And you learn so many great values and beliefs through not only the military, but also through my faith that is so a part of also being a military family, I would argue. And with that came sports, because when you move around as much as I did as a kid, you need something that will help you get in with kids at school. You got to be able to acclimate and adjust to your new environment. So I joined basketball team after I got involved when I was 5 or 6 back at the Y out in San Diego. And then when we moved coast to coast, I just kept playing basketball. So basketball has been this really cool leadership development tool because I've been able to relate to every single person that I've met through this universal language of basketball that it just has encompassed my entire life, because it has taught me how to lead people, how to be a good friend, a good teammate, and a good follower as well. And I've learned so much of this from my dad. I got to give him all the credit, because he is my college coach is awesome, but he's my favorite coach. You know, he's coached me from 6 until I was 21, because he's still, whenever I have a problem with my shot, I'll FaceTime my dad, and it's a quick fix. Basketball and the military have always been intertwined in my life. And even into college now, I would not be where I am in my basketball career without the Army, and vice versa. I am now a co-captain at St. Mary's with my fellow junior captain Giovanna Paradiso and my senior captain Jade Mosier, and we have had this really cool experience of being able to relate to our younger freshmen and building this team and this new very positive environment that we're really working on this season. And that, I mean, I got to give credit to the Army, because when you have to take a class for 2+ hours every Tuesday, you better start learning how to lead men and women, especially in such a serious environment, right, where we're being taught how to lead soldiers. And with classes, with labs, and with all of the advice and expertise that our cadre over at Notre Dame have just given us all the opportunities in the world to become these world-class leaders that the Army boasts. And basketball has also contributed so greatly to my Army leadership development, because I've learned how to help freshmen and sophomores in the gym, and how to help them just be able to relate to them, not only in sports but outside of the court. And I now do that with my cadets that I've had to start leading, because I'm in a leadership role this year. Last semester I was a squad leader, so I got to work so in depth with my freshmen and sophomores and teaching them how to be young leaders as well. And now as platoon leader of my company, I work as an overall head of my company. So I'm really working on how to get involved with those kids and make sure that they are on the best path possible to make them the best leaders they can be, because that's what our generation needs. And so with basketball, with ROTC, there's nothing better than sports and the military at teaching what it means to be a leader and what it means to be a teammate. So being a part of St. Mary's basketball and Notre Dame Army ROTC has allowed me to mix these two worlds in such a positive and impactful way on both sides. At St. Mary's, I couldn't be more grateful for my coach and for my teammates and being willing to let me miss Tuesday practices to go run out in the woods and learn how to be an Army officer and go to class. And I couldn't be more grateful that my cadre over at Notre Dame are so willing to let me miss some of the labs or some of the PTs to make sure that I'm as ready as possible to go and be dominant in my sport. So both sides have just completely helped one another, and I couldn't be more proud of either organization for allowing me to do that. With basketball, I don't think I could have asked for a better group of people to be so happy for me to be in the Army. We have my cadre willing to come over from Notre Dame and lead tough leadership practices, is the way that I'll put it. And the girls, they embrace the suck, as my dad always said. They just do it, and they get through it. They are so willing to work as a unit. And we name our plays after the phonetic alphabet: Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta. Hopefully that doesn't give anything away to the other teams, but they just love it. And my teammates, my co-captain Giovanna, you couldn't have a bigger cheerleader for what I'm about to do in my life, and I wouldn't be able to do it without their support. And then on the other side, we have these super fan shirts, and my entire class from Army ROTC bought them, and they come to the games. They're such big supporters. My cadre come out to games. They're always checking in. They're making me coach of the Tri-Mill women's team over at Notre Dame. They're constantly pushing me to become the best in my sport and the best in the Army on both sides, and I couldn't be more happy and grateful for both programs, and especially my coaches and my cadre.